The phone slipped from my hand, clattering against the hardwood floor of our new apartment like a gunshot in the dead of night. The screen cracked on impact, spiderwebbing across her smiling face from our last selfie, taken just weeks ago amid the chaos of moving boxes and laughter. "I need a break," her text read, glowing up at me from the shattered glass. "To figure things out with Mark. He's changed, Alex. I'm sorry." Mark. Her cheating ex. The one who'd shattered her 2 years ago. The reason she'd clung to me like a lifeline. I'd sold my childhood home in Seattle, uprooted my life, dragged us both to New York for her dream job at that glossy ad agency. And now this. My chest tightened, a vice of fury and disbelief squeezing the air from my lungs. I staggered back, slamming into the kitchen counter, the cold granite biting into my palms as I gripped it to stay upright. How could she? After everything. I paced the empty living room, the echo of my footsteps mocking the silence. The walls were still bare, waiting for the photos we'd promised to hang. Our engagement shoot, that trip to the Rockies where I'd proposed under a canopy of stars. Heartbreak clawed at me, raw and unrelenting, but beneath it simmered something darker, humiliation. I'd bragged to friends about this fresh start, posted updates on social media like a fool. New chapter in the Big Apple. Now they'd whisper pity me. The guy who got played. Again. I sank onto the couch, burying my face in my hands, the faint scent of her perfume lingering on the cushions like a ghost. Denial flooded in first. Maybe it was a joke, a test. But no, the words stared back, unyielding. Resentment boiled up, hot and bitter. I'd given up my job at the tech firm, my friends, my roots, for her. And she repaid me by crawling back to that sleazeball. Hours blurred into a haze. I didn't eat, didn't sleep. Instead, I replayed every moment in my mind, dissecting them like a surgeon with a dull blade. The way she'd been distant lately, claiming work stress. The late nights at the office. The secretive glances at her phone. How had I missed it? Obsession took root, twisting my thoughts into knots. I imagined confronting her, screaming until my throat burned. Or worse, showing up at Mark's door, fists flying. But violence wasn't me. I was the steady one, the planner. Guilt nipped at the edges, had I pushed her away. Been too clingy after the move. Well, this was on her. On them. By dawn, the city outside buzzed to life, horns blaring through the thin windows, but inside my world had frozen. I retrieved my phone, ignoring the cracks, and scrolled through her messages. The last one from yesterday. "Miss you already. Can't wait for date night." Liar. I typed a response, deleted it, typed another. Fury won out. A break. With him. After I gave up everything. No reply. The silence fueled my rage, turning it inward. I pictured her with Mark. His smug grin, the one I'd seen in old photos she'd shown me during tearful confessions. He destroyed me, she'd said. And now she wanted to revisit that destruction. Cold resolve began to form, a fragile armor against the pain. I wouldn't beg. I'd make her feel it. Work that day was a blur. My new gig at a startup felt like a cage, the open plan office humming with chatter I couldn't join. Colleagues shot curious glances. "You okay, Alex?" But I forced a smile, the muscles in my face aching from the effort. Just jet lag from the move. Inside, fantasies swirled. Hacking her email, exposing their affair to her boss, her family. Doubt crept in. What if I was overreacting? Maybe it was just a phase. But no, the text was clear. Revisit. The word echoed like a slap. By lunch, I'd excused myself to the rooftop, the wind whipping my coat as I stared at the skyline. Heartbreak morphed into something sharper. A plan. Subtle at first. Play along, act understanding. Lure her back, then strike. That evening she called. I let it ring twice, heart pounding before answering. "Alex." Her voice was tentative, laced with guilt. The sound of traffic in the background. She was walking somewhere, probably near her office in Midtown. "Yeah." My tone was flat, controlled. Inside, resentment surged. "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for it to come out like that." Mark reached out, said he's in therapy now. I just need space to process. After I'd crossed the country for her. Humiliation burned. Process what? Or him cheating on you again. It's not like that. You've been amazing, but the move. It's overwhelming. I love you, but not enough. The words escaped before I could stop them, laced with suppressed rage. She sighed, the sound heavy. Please don't make this harder. Harder. I gripped the phone tighter, knuckles white. Fine. Take your break. But don't expect me to wait. The line went dead. Obsession deepened. I spent the night researching Mark online. His LinkedIn profile gleaming with corporate success, a finance bro in a suit. Photos of him at galas, arm around women who weren't her. My fiancé, ex-fiancé, had chosen this over me. Moral conflict gnawed. Was revenge worth it? But the betrayal stung too deep. Start small. Gather intel. Days turned to weeks. I threw myself into routine, but beneath the surface, tension built like a storm. Mornings I jogged through Central Park, the crunch of leaves underfoot mirroring my grinding thoughts. Denial faded. Acceptance brought clarity. I'd email her casually, feigning concern. How's work? She'd reply vaguely, hinting at dinners with friends. Mark, no doubt. Each message was a breadcrumb, fueling my resolve. I hired a PI, discreet, expensive, under the guise of closure. Photos arrived, them at a cafe, her laughing at his jokes. Heartbreak twisted into cold fury. Planning began in earnest. Not violence, too crude. Something smarter, more devastating. One night, rain lashing the windows, I sat at my desk, laptop glowing. I discovered Mark's weakness. Embezzlement rumors from his last job, buried in forums. Anonymous tips could unravel him. But doubt hit. Was I becoming the monster? Guilt flickered, but resentment drowned it. She'd humiliated me. I'd return the favor. Subtle hints in our sparse conversations. Heard Mark's doing well. Her hesitation was telling. Tension rose, a slow burn. I imagined her regret, the moment she'd realize what she'd lost. Then the turning point. A package arrived, her things shipped from storage. Inside, our engagement ring, nestled in tissue like a discarded dream. Fury exploded. I hurled it across the room, the clink against the wall echoing my shattered trust. That night, I drafted the email, an anonymous whistleblower to his firm. Fingers hovered over send. Moral conflict raged. Justice or vengeance? But her betrayal tipped the scale. Blick. The die was cast. The email vanished into the ether, and with it, a sliver of my soul. Guilt crashed over me like a wave, cold and suffocating. What had I done? Sitting in the dim apartment, the city lights flickering through rain-streaked glass, I questioned everything. Was this resolve or madness? Obsession had blinded me. Now doubt clawed back. But beneath it, a grim satisfaction stirred. Mark would pay. And through him her. Weeks dragged on, suspense coiling tighter. I monitored news feeds obsessively. The glow of my screen the only light in sleepless nights. Whispers online. An investigation at his firm. Anonymous sources pointing to discrepancies. My heart raced each time. Fear of exposure mingling with anticipation. She texted sporadically, her words laced with unease. Things are complicated. I replied neutrally, hiding the storm. Hope you're okay. Manipulation, subtle and calculated. Inside, resentment festered, fantasies of her crumbling world sustaining me. One evening, as snow dusted the streets, she showed up unannounced. The buzzer jolted me, her voice crackling through the intercom. Alex? Can we talk? I buzzed her up, pulse thundering. She entered, cheeks flushed from the cold, eyes rimmed red. The scent of her, vanilla and regret, hit like a punch. Mark's in trouble, she blurted, shedding her coat. His job. They're accusing him of fraud. Feigned surprise masked my triumph. What? How? She paced, wringing her hands. I don't know. He swears it's a setup. But the evidence. It's bad. Tears welled. I thought he changed, but maybe not. Humiliation reversed. Now she sought my comfort. Inner conflict surged. Part of me wanted to hold her, forgive. But betrayal's scar ran deep. You left me for this, I said softly, voice steady despite the rage. I know. I was stupid. Her admission hung heavy, revealing cracks in her facade. Motivations peeled back. Fear of commitment after the move. Mark's familiar toxicity a crutch. Layered human. But not enough. We talked late into the night. Dialogue raw and revealing. I missed the excitement, she confessed, voice breaking. You were safe, but... Safe. Suppressed rage bubbled. I uprooted my life for you. Guilt flashed in her eyes. I'm sorry. Can we try again? Temptation warred with resolve. But the plan was in motion. Maybe, I lied, tension building like a taut wire. As she left, promising calls, the PI updated. Mark fired under audit. Poetic justice loomed. Obsession peaked. I tracked their fallout online. Her posts cryptic, his profile vanishing. Fear gripped me, what if traced back? Moral grayness enveloped. Justified, yet tainted. Climax approached. A gala, her agency's event. I'd attend anonymously, watch the unraveling. Dressing in shadows, the mirror reflected a stranger. Eyes hardened, resolve etched. The venue pulsed with glamour. Chandeliers casting golden light on laughing crowds. She mingled, forced smiles hiding turmoil. Mark lurked nearby, disheveled, pleading in whispers. I approached unseen, heart pounding. Overheard. This is your fault, he hissed. Someone's out for me. Her reply sharp. Or maybe you did it. Tension snapped. He grabbed her arm, she yanked away. I intervened, voice calm but laced with venom. Problem. They froze. Recognition dawned, her horror, his confusion. Alex, she gasped. The reveal. I confessed the email, words tumbling in a rush. You betrayed me. Both of you. Shock rippled. She recoiled, guilt and fury warring. You ruined him. No, I countered cold. He ruined himself. You ruined us. Mark lunged, but security intervened. Chaos erupted. Whispers spreading, her career teetering from association. Outside, snow swirling, she confronted me. Was it worth it? Heartbreak echoed in my reply. You tell me. Twist. Days later a knock. Please. The email traced. Not to me but her. In desperation, she'd fabricated evidence against Mark. Using my old laptop. My plan had backfired. She'd framed herself in the crossfire. Arrested for fraud, her world crumbled. I watched from afar, obsession sated but hollow. Revenge's price. Isolation. Poetic, devastating. Was I the villain now? The question lingered, unresolved.